Hello, everybody. This is very exciting. Okay, I see a lot of people are trickling in. This is beautiful. Mimosa. Mimosa. Oh my God. Last time I saw you, Mimosa was like 4 years ago. Good to see you. Let me admit everybody. Let's get everybody. Lena's here as well. Puru. Puru is here. Muhammad. Oh my God. Sanan is here. Good to see you guys. Anika is here as well. This is beautiful. Oh, I see the hearts. Good to see you guys. Let's get everybody in and we can start the show. Great. All right. Let's get Abdullah in. And I will allow everybody to just jump right in. This is great. All right, so I see nobody has their camera on. Let's see. Pune is here as well. Hey, Pune. I want one of you guys to unmute your microphone and probably also have your camera on just so that we tech check. Hey, Pune. Salam. Chitori.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Salam Tarek. I'm always impressed by your Persian.
Oh my God. Thank you. I have the best Persian teacher, Khalil, which all of you is gonna see very soon.
Yes, I don't have the camera running now, if that is fine.
That is completely fine. And I can see Anna is here as well. Hey Anna. And Jade is here. Hey Jade. So Anna,
Hello.
I think Anna, it makes sense for us to be here, I suppose. Excellent.
I'm in both right now.
You have
Can you
both?
hear me?
Yeah, both. That's good. But I can hear an echo. So I think just being on Zoom would make a lot more sense.
Perfect.
All right. Oh, you have me on the TV, Luis and Hilda? What? I'm a superstar today. That is beautiful. No pressure, no pressure at all.
No pressure, no pressure at all.
And I can even hear myself. Lena, is this from you? Okay. Thanks. No pressure. That's good. All right. And Jade, I can see you. That's great as well. So,
Everyone, hi Tarek.
Abdullah, good to see you, Abdullah. Good to have you here with us.
Yeah, I'm always excited for your sessions, bro.
Oh my God. I'm so happy to hear. Good to have you with us. It's going to be an exciting one for
Thank you
sure.
so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Nice to meet you all, guys.
Nice to meet you, Abdullah, or see you again. Last time we met was it a storytelling workshop, I think. Last time we met. Yeah, it was quite some time ago.
Yes, and science fiction.
Science
Yeah.
fiction, yes, yes. This time we're
Yeah.
gonna be a bit about like how to what like basically we're gonna open up what happens behind the scenes and how we kind of do a little cookbooks. I'm very excited to do that. It's the first time we ever do this, so this is gonna be exciting.
All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you
I'm
so
sure it
much.
will be the best. All the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Uh-huh. I see. Khalil is with us here in the guest room. That is beautiful. All right. I guess we have one more minute to go and we can start the show. So Khalil, we have you everywhere. We have you here in Zoom and we have you on our platform streaming and this is great. This is really great. All right. With that being said, let me have you here. And Anna's here as well. That's great. Oh, you're all here, guys. You know what's funny about this? So I wanna start quickly with introducing the people behind the show today. So as you can see on the left, we have Khalil. He's a workshop executive. It's a beautiful
Hi
title, and
guys.
I hey Khalil, I think the workshop executive suits you very well because you always have this thing where I'm like trying to design things in the abstract form, and I'm coming up with crazy ideas, and let's do this and let's do that. And then suddenly you just like take it all and filter it down and make it happen. You just execution is like you're such a master in this. So I think that's why I gave that title to you, because today we'll be talking a lot about workshops and workshop building. So Khalil, today you're a workshop execution executive. Execution is not a good
Yes,
word.
sir.
Oh, not you, Siri. And then on the middle we have Anna Wikström. Anna Wikström actually has been a great addition to our team for, is it almost half a year now, Anna?
Something like that, yeah.
About half a year. And I think the beautiful thing that you had, Anna, one thing, guys, like off the topic, that she's a psychologist, and she is also like into, let's say, cross-cultural communication and how to create an actual flow that goes together with people, and that's a very big part of every workshop. So she has this expertise on the field. But Anna is one of the most organized people I know. I don't know if this comes with psychologists generally. I'm not gonna like, stereotype, but she's
No,
so organized. So good to have you, Anna, with us as well, and to add this different perspective to it. And with that being said, I would like to start the day. Like, I would like to go through it so quickly with a little bit of our story, so that we can put things into perspective, and how did these ideas come into being. So I'll do this real quick here. If you can just let's see how to do this. All right. I'll share my screen real quick. I think while we're at it, you guys can tell us a bit. Maybe hold on a second. Yeah, maybe guys. I would like you guys in the comments below, and of course Anna and Khalil, please direct the people. We want expectations. We want to set expectations from the beginning of the day. So what do you expect? What do you hope to learn? And while I get my screen share up and running.
All right, let's do that. Am I in slow mo? I'm just wondering. Do you guys see me in slow mo? Yes?
We see you in slow mo, but I think everybody else doesn't.
But I think I'm
Okay.
also in slow-mo now.
I think you're a little bit late.
I'm a
because
little
the
bit
image
in
and the
slow mo.
sound.
It's an early
It's still
morning, guys. So I'll quickly disconnect and reconnect while we're doing this. Let's see if I would wake up or the tech would wake up. Should I do that, or can we manage with my slow mo robotic movements?
Try to connect, reconnect.
I would do that.
All right. Annika is hoping to improve her workshop skills. Hey, Feya, I can see Feya as well. Khalil and Anna, okay, your voice.
Sorry for being late.
No worries, no worries. We were just like warming up as well, so that's completely fine. Let's see if we have Khalil back. Yes, Khalil, we have you back.
You have me back? Okay.
Yes, we do. So here we have a few comments. The first comment is hoping to improve my workshop skills. We have Abdullah. I'm expecting to learn tips on how to manage and get the maximum of any presentation. Makes my presentation more interesting and interactive without being boring. Okay, that's good. Uffe Wikström says, good morning, everyone. Just so you guys know, Uffe Wikström is Anna's father. So Anna, behave. And all right, I think with that being said, I'm gonna ditch this platform that we're on, and I'm just gonna go like classic Keynote because that's what I know best. We're trying to experiment with this new platform where it could help us make our dreams come true, but it's obviously not working out. So I'm just gonna share my screen, classical Zoom. And you know, guys, as soon as everybody shares a screen on Zoom, you know what's the first question they ask in any workshop? Can you see my screen? Please give me a thumbs up if you see my screen. That's usually how it kind of works out. So I think you guys can see my screen. I have very good confidence in Zoom. And that with that being said, I wanna like start with our little story. It started with me and Khalil. And basically, Khalil was a dentist, and so was I. And we were very interested not just in what goes into people's mouths, but what comes out of it. And so we went back to the lab, and we were thinking to ourselves, all right, what happens when you actually go on stage and start speaking about something that's so complex and breaking it down into something that's very understandable to the general public. And funny enough, we started competing in pitching competitions and scientific pitching competitions. So it was a very technical thing. And funny enough, we developed this model that started getting us awards. In 2017, we tested it out on myself like a guinea pig. And then in 2018, we tested it out on Khalil, the second guinea pig. And then later on, we started sharing it with the world. And not only it was able to allow us to win those winning competitions and get, of course, great publicity and great attention for the important research that we were doing in the labs, but also it gave us a very different kind of confidence because we were always a bit scared, like, okay, how can I be on stage and how can I actually talk about complex things and make people excited and engaged? And so this story is just how this, I would say, the fire started and how we started, reaching out to more people and working with a lot more organizations, and this actually started becoming a business. And we've met beautiful people. I think Abdullah, you're here. I think there's a few people here who are actually joining the session, so you can see yourselves here. And I think it's really nice because we've seen amazing people, and to be very specific, we saw like, was it like 1,500 of them, and we've had great stories that were shared with us. Like some people said, hey, I was able to go out on stage and be able to speak about my innovations, about my work. I'm more confident now. Some other people said, I have now the tools, like very practical things that I can use moving forward. And some others had something a bit more tangible, and I mean money. So some people were like, hey, I was able to win actual maybe a research fund or a travel grant or some hard-earned cash. And one of my dear friends, I think he's here also in the session today, Sami, was also one of the people that we Sharif Sami or Sharif Bayoum was one of the people that we met, and he also was able to get those financial awards after being able to communicate, to pitch his science in a short time, get the attention of the crowd, get also the core idea of his innovation. But I think why I wanted to share these stories of these people is because I wanted to say that money is sure nice and everything, but I don't think that's what made them like stories that we want to share. Because if you look at Sharif's smile, this was actually a screenshot during the pitching competition. This picture is actually when he won. So you can see the smile on his face, and I think that's priceless. Knowing that you can achieve something, that is priceless. Getting the money is sure nice, but that's not everything. I think what really matters is what happens afterwards. And what happens afterwards is something you'll always take with you. And that's the idea of the workshops that we build. We always try to think, is there something that you can take and you can just go out there in the world and make things happen? And that's kind of now I'm starting to give you a bit of how we think when we're actually doing the pen to paper, which we will go into depth a bit more. Now, starting off with personalized workshops, then working with talents like Sharif and doing one-to-one coaching. Then we started seeing our business model, right? Or our activities started becoming more maybe blending the innovations with the commercialization aspect. We started, because we were teaching people how to pitch, and then we started getting into the business side of things. So how do you actually commercialize your research? And so evolutionary, we started then going to bigger fundings, right? Working with people who have patents, intellectual property rights. And for example, this is Elmira. And again, yes, she was able to get 700, like she says, we got 700 tons, right? Kilos of funding to actually get her research to become a real business. But I think what she got out of that was, again, that smile, which is definitely, again, priceless. She is now very proud that she's able to make something happen. She's able to twist things around. And again, what lies in the core is that same idea. When you're planning to help somebody, when you're planning to run a session, what do, right? What's our cookbook like? So I just wanted to give you a little bit of like science pictures on where we are, because this is very important to us, because today lies with another maybe angle where we're going, because we were just focusing on like developing what we know and our tools, but now we want to give back. We want to actually focus more on our society, on our community. And this is why we have this session today, is because we want to actually create a community. And this is all just warming up for the community, because we have a community launch in March, actually. So we're talking about just a bit over a month. We have the community launch, and this is kind of how it's building up to it, that we start to actually engage with our friends, engage with our network, and share those things forward, which is actually why also Anna is playing a very vital role here. She's not only a psychologist, but she's also a community manager. So she's building with us the structures and the skeletons about that. So this brings me to the start of the day with my dear friends. I will stop sharing my screen, and I will share the stage then with Khalil and Anna. So where are you guys? Are you on Ecamm, or are you back to the feed? Or thank you, Yahya. I'm seeing your comments now. Is there a general guideline to awaken participants? Yes, we will definitely get to that. So Anna and Khalil, where are you guys right now? Are you on the stream?
Can you hear me?
I'm on Zoom.
Okay, so one of us is on Zoom, one of us is on the stream.
Yeah,
that
I am on
correct?
Ecamm, but I cannot see my video. So my video, it's the clean version of me, not the guy with the beard.
Oh, not
So
the guy with
we need the guy with the
Okay.
It's the other Khalil.
It's the other Khalil? All right. So I'll tell you something. How about you join us on Zoom? Yeah, if that's okay.
Yes.
Join us on Zoom so that it's easier for you and Anna to join me. And then I will just share the screen with you guys. I think that would make a lot more sense. So this is, guys, like, this is maybe one of the, maybe this is the first exercise of the day. Like, if something doesn't work, just throw it out of the window. That's exactly what we're going to do right now. Just like throw it out of the window. All right, great.
I think can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. Okay, amazing. Oh,
We'll see you later.
technology.
I agree. So I'm gonna spotlight you guys with me so that we all share this beautiful moments together. All right. So I want to start with a little story, because this is the beginning of the day. And the story is actually a little conversation that I had with my friend, and it was about learning. So we're talking about like developing workshops and developing educational material. And she said, Tarek, what kind of a learner are you? And there's this, like, of course, there's many theories about learning, but one of them talks about like there's three types of learners out there, or learning styles to be specific. One of them is kinesthetic. It's like you need to touch something, you need to do it to actually get to learn it. So do something to learn it. The other one is you actually need to see it. So you're more like of a visual person. You want to like see a slide, you want to see something like on in a video, something in front of you, right? Somebody demonstrating it in front of you so that you learn it. So you're like a visual person. And then finally, you're a person who learns through listening. So you listen, and that's how you kind of like get things. Maybe there's like an audiobook, right? You're listening to an audiobook, or maybe you want to listen to someone's advice on the phone, or hear them speak to you. So my question to all of you here, let's run a very quick poll and see what kind of a learner are you. So in the chat box, please let us know what kind of a learner are you. Are you an auditory person, like mostly? Are you a visual person, or are you a kinesthetic person that you need to touch things to actually learn? I'd be very, very interested to see the chat. Let me pull it up real quick. So what kind of a learner are you? And Khalil and Anna, maybe you can also share with me, what kind of a learner are you guys? Sanan is actually visual. Yusuf is visual. Oh, interesting. Okay. Jade is audio and visual combined. Ooh, interesting. Khalil, how about you? What are you? What are you?
My three is audio. I think visual, definitely a visual guy.
Visual
so I
person?
imagine things in my head.
Okay. Oh, Hilda is mostly visual. Luis is multi-channel. Ah, I think I'm here with you actually on this one. What about you, Anna?
Mostly auditory, but also kinesthetic.
Also kinesthetic. Interesting. Feya is actually mostly kinesthetic as well, but she likes all three combined. Ooh, I like this. Freya, I like this. Yeah, this is interesting. So I see. Okay, so and Annika as well, visual. So we have Abdullah as visual. Annika is I learned the best walking, talking out loud, and looking at notes that I have previously done into a visual numeratic form. Interesting. Learning, walking, and talking. This is very ancient Greek, by the way, methodology. They used to have like these walking meetings and talking, so that like when the brain moves and the body moves, the brain works. There's this kind of theory about it. And then you also like to make notes. So you're almost like a combination of all, actually, to come think about it. Yahya is kinesthetic. Okay, so thank you guys for sharing, because that's exactly the little thing that I had this little discussion, or a bit of a like different points of view, because she was saying that a person can have one, and I was saying a person can have more than one, right? And I can see actually a lot of you are supporting this. It's like, yes, you could be one predominantly, but also you can be all. And so we did this test. There's all these online tests online, and I ended up being exactly all three. And the idea here is I learned through different areas of my life, and I think all of you here as well, to use different methods to do different things. As a matter of fact, like if we just pause for a moment and look at a child developing, okay, here's some kitchen psychology, all right? Anna, don't quote me on this one, but you see the child, they hear you speak, they try to do it kinesthetically, the ba ba boo boo gaga, and then at the same time, maybe they have a crayon, they see you write, they go all around the house trying to write. So you can see like there's always this visual, then they're doing, then they're hearing, then they're writing, then they're trying. I feel this combination is what keeps people really engaged in here. And that's exactly how I develop sessions. Like as simple as that. I literally sit down and be like, okay, what do I have for the body? Because for example, we just heard Annika talk about like walking and talking. So I'm always thinking in the sessions like, can I get people to move? Can I get people to participate? Can I get people to tell me if they're a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic person on the chat box? Because like you guys now are moving your fingers, so we have something, we have some action going. Can I engage with you? At the same time, you're hearing me out. So there's also the auditory part. I'm giving as much as I can, clearer information. So with that being said, the idea is really to personalize and to hit all the different elements all the time, because A, you're going to hit a lot of people because different people have different styles, but B, you're going to awaken those styles in a lot of people. And I think this is what makes it really engaging. And with that being said, I'd like to pass the microphone to my dear friend Khalil, because he is about to share with us something that he does also in sessions, and I think it's very okay. I'm not gonna burn it. All right, Khalil, I'm gonna stay quiet.
Go ahead and burn it.
No.
Well, let's jump into the execution, guys. It's amazing to be here with you today, and good afternoon. What a blessed Saturday. And when it comes to executing the workshop, so this is what we think usually about. Tarek talked about how we have to know the audience and like engage them in different ways, and how different people learn different things. But there's also, just like how we are different types of learners, there's also a different way how we absorb information and how we learn that information. And one way could be just we absorb new information. So let's say you're learning a new language, and in that case, you're just receiving something new. Another form of learning would be when you are having a pool of information or an ocean of information in your head, and then you combine those two. And when it comes to executing our workshops, the most important thing that we do in the first step is that we design the learning outcomes. What do we want to share with the participants? How would their life change when they enter the workshop and they leave? And the way we understand that is by getting to know them personally, on detail, very much so. You meet the client, you meet the audience, and you chat with them. You discover what are their actual needs. Once you know those needs, they are linked exactly to your learning outcomes. And with the learning outcomes, again, you have a huge learning outcome, what you're actually going to deliver in the workshop. And the way we do it and we design it is that we break it down into different segments, into different exercises and different parts. So we have a bigger picture of a learning outcome, and then each segment is tied in together with that. So we want to learn, let's say, how to screw a screw, and that's how we usually go about it. We know already how to move our wrists. We know how to hold something in our hand, and the way we build that exercise is we tell the audience and how to hold the screw and turn it, and then tie in the screw. So it's the combination of both. We not only give them a new knowledge, but we also let them use the ocean of pool of information that they have in their head and combine it together. And once we combine those two learning models, we call it the 4T's. And the 4T's stand for Tarek, Tanya, Tali, and Tanika. Could it work out?
I saw it coming. I saw it coming.
Oh, Jaitan! The 4T model that we approach towards, designing the whole workshop is. I want to give you actually an example. Imagine you are meeting a child for the first time, and you are teaching the child on how to nail. You're gonna give them some hammer and a nail, and you're gonna teach them how to nail it. And what would you do in the beginning? You meet the child, you build trust. You just don't go in the street in front of a stroller or a child walking and be like, hey, take this. No, you already have that bond and friendship with the child or the baby. and you give them the tools. The next thing you do is you introduce them. Hey, I have a hammer and a nail, and this is how it works. And once they learn how to use that, what they do is they test it. And then what they start doing is they go around the house and they hammer everything, including your newly bought TV. Children are a blessing, guys. But that approach we also take in our workshops, and that's what the 4 T's that we follow stand for. First, the first T stands for building trust. The second one is giving the audience the tools. The third one is we allow them to test the tools. And the fourth one is training. So we build the trust, we give them some tools, we allow them to test it, and then they go and train. And maybe I can share my screen in the details on how we actually go deep into building the workshop.
Would you like me to do that for you, Khalid?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
If you have...
Yeah, absolutely. Right here. Yes, it's here.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So this is like really like secret stuff. Like this is what happens behind the scenes.
Not secret anymore.
So what's in front of us, Khalid? Walk us through it.
Oh, this is actually from the template, yes. So what we go and what we do is we lay down every exact single minute of the workshop and how is it going to be. The trust building exercise in the beginning and like other exercises that we want to follow to reach our huge learning outcome that we identified in the beginning. And we move on to the next element. It's like building a Lego. You want to build a huge structure and each Lego piece has its role and they all combine and get fit in together and give you that whole structure. And right now we're just like sharing this recipe and this page of the cookbook. And if you're interested, please drop in your emails or contact us or your names or reach us out at info@sciencepictures.com, and we would share this template with you to help you, define the outline of your workshop or like get the audience needs and like think of the bigger picture and the learning outcomes. And what I would want to talk, there's a lot of ways to actually grab the trust of people, build trust with that child, or give them tools or make them test. But now that we're looking at this table, if you go back to the table, Tariq, I can share a story for what happened last Tuesday. And I was giving a workshop with Johanna at the University of Turku, and it was for researchers and PhD students on how to pitch their science. And it was going very good. Everything was in order. We followed an ancient model of sharing theory and imitating some speeches and then exercising. So again, we had the workshop built into segments and each one was tying into one another, leading to an overall outcome, which was pitching the science. And everything was going good, everything was fantastic, until people went and practiced on the stage. And one of the participants, he just walked on the stage, he was the last pitch. And he took a deep breath and he was like, I need to get ready for this mental exercise. And he started talking. And he was talking so fast. It was so hard to follow. And then suddenly, he choked. Guys, he choked. The whole room went silent. Everything was tense. Everyone was like looking at each other like, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? And one thing that comes to my mind, or it's almost like a law of nature, if I would want to share this with you. Something that would spread like wildfire in workshops or in speeches is enthusiasm and skepticism. So these two things would just spread between all the participants. So as soon as that happened, I jumped in and I said, not happening in my workshop. Nobody chokes here. Out. Of course I didn't say that. I mean, do I look like a guy who would do that? Would you do that? I don't think you would. So instead, instantly, me and Johanna, we introduced a new exercise. A new exercise for every participant in the room to follow and to help them how to behave on the stage, how to stay calm, how to act. And with that being said, I don't wanna say that this structure that you're building or these Lego pieces that you're putting together need to be very rigid. You know, when you're building a Lego structure, think of it this way: you don't necessarily pick the red brick or the red block after the green one and pick them. It's just random. So not only you have a well-planned day, well-planned structure, but at the same time, you are dynamic and you are prepared in case of these scenarios. You would introduce exercises and things that would add to the whole learning outcome, because you might have a rigid structure, yes, the learning outcomes or the goal of your workshop is something, but during the workshop, things might change. Incidents like this might happen. And the more you are ready with this, the more exercise you have on your sleeve, the better. And with that addition of dynamic and fluidity to this rigid structure, I would want to give the floor back to Tariq, and I don't know, ask you guys if you have any questions or anything you would want to discuss.
Sure, I
I
can.
think actually, in the beginning, Jade asked a question that you have touched upon multiple times in this section, and she asked if there are general tactics for grabbing interest or if it's always situation specific. And I think answering that question would serve as a really great summary for what you just said, because you've been touching upon both how you need to tailor it to the specific client and their needs, but also things that will spread like wildfire, things that are very general to workshops.
Thank you for highlighting that, Anna.
Yeah, that is true. And okay, I think we can open the floor a little bit for questions. So just to let me see. Yeah, now I can see the chat. All right, so let's open the floor for questions, or what do you have from Khalil, or what do you have in mind, or let's say, what is the most challenging situations that you usually have when you're conducting sessions, or when you're having like a workshop for let's say your colleagues or at work. What stands in the way? I'll give you guys a few moments, and I will also type what stands in my way, because that's like something I'm like, it's almost something that I'm trying to contend with all the time. For me, I'm gonna write it in the chat. Here you go, typed. Okay. Luis and Hilda, it's okay. Holding people's attention. Khalil, it's managing time. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Uffe, it's talking to people, showing interest, and not talking to an audience. Okay. Yeah, talking to people, being personal. Actually, that's a bit tricky. Okay, how to combine the needs. Oh, Jung Moon is here. How to combine the needs of all participants and give a good conclusion. Oof. Pune. Yes. Negativity or different expectations. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Agree with Luis. Holding attention. Yes. Not making them bored. Good manners. Fair enough. Get out of my class. Okay, sure. So maybe we can start a little bit, like, let's have a little conversation with these comments. So I can start like this is beautiful, because I can start with holding people's attention. So I'm gonna share with you guys a little story. Oh, we have also behavior expectations among the crowd. Okay, okay, good. This is really like a lot to unpack. Okay, let's try to like quickly have this Q&A. So I'm gonna share a little story, and it was trying to make an engaging session, and I developed this technique, which is a double-edged sword, because it could work really well or it could like backfire so badly, and that has to do with managing the energy in the room. So a lot of us are in Finland, and to people who are not in Finland, like in Finland, we're quite calm. Like we're not high energy people at all. We're just quite chill, quite chill. And you know, walking into a session with 30 professionals, all of them looking at you like, do I really need to be here right now? And you want to get them engaged, right? You walk in there. So first things first, they say the best, you know, this is all like things that you can Google. Chat GPT can tell you all about it. But the best thing about workshops being engaging is the energy of the actual workshop leader. Like when you walk with an open energy, it transmits, the enthusiasm goes, it goes against the crowd. In the beginning, people are quite reserved. They don't want to listen to you. You're there on stage. Even with the best speakers, it's the same problem. You walk on stage, people are not interested. So with your energy, being there, being present, talking to people, like Uffe said, not talking to just like a bunch of, you know, an audience in the room, but actually talking to each person individually, then you start kind of breaking the ice a bit. And that's where the trust is happening. So what happened is that I learned this technique, which is if you go with a positive energy, like even if you're not in the best mood, but if you go with a positive energy and you're like smiling and you're like, you know, kind of upbeat, they say that this goes much faster to the people's hearts. Like very soon they're going to be engaged. So being the child with the hammer, I started going to every session with so high energy that it was not even funny anymore. Like it was like, hey everybody, how's it going? Stuff like that. And sometimes like I could get reactions like why is this guy all over the place? And so I developed with time the balance, right? How to be like energy, smiling, but at the same time not too much, not too little. But I realized that this was actually my problem, is I got too used to being really upbeat to the point that when the adrenaline kicks in me and I'm anxious, or like, you know, in the beginning, you're always like a bit trembling. It's a bit like, you know, you're a bit shaky. You try not to show it, try to show that you're confident, but it's always there. So with me, it started translating into being super fast in speaking. And this is my problem, is like managing my energy level, not because I have low energy, but it's because I have way too high energy. And I remember I went to this workshop once. It was with Helsinki Business, and back in the days they had a different name. What was it? It was Helsinki Co. Was it Helsinki? I can't remember. But yeah. But anyways, so they got me as the pitch trainer. There's a bunch of entrepreneurs. They are international. They're starting up their businesses in Helsinki, and that's why they had the session, and they got me, and I was like, you know, you've seen the table that Khalil shared. And the table, I have like time, like my introduction is 10 minutes. My first exercise starts at 9:10 sharp. So I had, I think, about like a 15-minute intro or something like that. It's the intro plus the exercise. It was just like all together 15 minutes. And I ran the session, and I finished it, I think, in like 6 minutes, and I was done with the intro, with the with everything.